some time with me. Tell me what you see. We'll have encouraging lessons, counting all of our blessings. It's Tuesday with Charlie and G. Good morning. You'll see my whiteboard. I love to have a little chalk talk. I'm a former coach and athletic person. And so I'm going to talk to you today about something that is probably present in all of our lives. You got conflict? Yeah, who doesn't, right? We live in a broken, fallen world. We're not perfect. We are flawed humans who think a certain way, and because of our experiences and our, backgrounds or our current, mindsets, we have conflict with others. It's going to happen, right? You just have to assume that you're going to be in conflict sometimes with some people. And I'm fascinated today by how little skill we actually have in handling a situation where we may have conflict with someone. It's almost like we've lost civility, right? We've lost our ability to disagree with somebody and still have respect and, some sort of rapport to understand that, hey, I'm differentiated from you. Like, I'm me, you're you, it's cool. Like, we can disagree with not like hating each other, canceling each other, like just blowing our minds because we have this difference with somebody. And we just need to take a deep breath. I want to give you 3 things today that really excite me. And this is what I pile into my mind. This is what I bring back to my mind when I get into a conflict with somebody. So like, oh, here we go. And it's 3 things. It's 3 easy things. Now, again, my name starts with a C. Conflict starts with a C, and the 3 things that I'm going to teach you here start with C. So the first thing that I want you to do when you get into conflict is I want you to be curious. I want you to be curious, not critical, right? Curious, not critical. Now, I get it. This person's wrong, right? You think they're wrong. They're absolutely out of their minds wrong. But don't be critical. You can't go there first. You got to go to curious first. And what I mean by that is to ask questions. It's like, oh, okay, I don't understand that. You've told me something that I don't agree with. Explain to me how you end up there. Let me ask you some questions. Now, you're not doing it in a confrontational way. You're doing it because you're seeking to understand. And that's another phrase that you may have heard, right? You got to listen in order to understand, not listen in order to respond, right? And think about that. If you and I are in conflict and you say something that's just blows my mind wrong, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm going to love you. I'm going to respect you enough to ask you some questions that say, okay, that's a thought. Tell me how you ended up there, because I'm not there. So take me where you are. Show me how you end up thinking that way. Like, it's not confrontational, but you stay in the conversation, right? So first things first, get curious, not critical. Because most things, what we do is we react, don't we? We react to say, oh, that's wrong. Well, then immediately the person goes, what do you mean I'm wrong? I'm not wrong, you're wrong. the relationship falls apart. So even in our families, even in our churches, especially in our workplace, especially in those relationships that are really close, when you conflict with somebody, just ask some questions. Just start asking questions. Say, okay, let me understand where you're at. Okay, that's probably going to start a conversation, because ultimately I've literally been in situations where I started asking those questions. Hey, tell me about this. How did you end up there? And you know what? This person might even talk their way out of it. They go, oh, wait a minute. Now that you've asked me to explain it, I don't know that I'm right. Interesting. Well, let's talk about that. Let's be curious, right? The next thing that I want you to do, it's a C word. I want you to stay calm. Come on. Not confused or chaotic, right? You got to stay calm. Take a couple deep breaths. Okay? I don't know how many times I sat in my office, right, when I was in my former job, and somebody would come storming in and they had a problem and they beat on my desk and they would tell me I'm a horrible person and that I'm stupid and that I just don't get it and I don't understand, and they just let them rent. And I would start by taking a deep breath and being really calm, right? Maybe I should have put that first. You be calm, then you get curious, right? So I'd have them sit down as well. I would say, hey, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Take some deep breaths. Have a seat. It's okay. Let's sit down. Let's just sit and take a deep breath, right? I think the way that people escalate things too sometimes is to use words like always and never. You never do this, or you always do that, or it's always like this, or it's never like this. Now, like, I don't know. Hold on a second. I'm not going to use those terms when I'm in conflict with somebody. You always say that to me, or you never do that to me. Listen, those are too extreme, right? They're words that start to escalate people's feelings. When you say, I never do this, I'm going to say, no, I did it on this time. We're just going to argue, right? When you say never, I'm going to prove you wrong. So don't say that. I'm never going to use that in a conflict situation. Don't use always and never, because those are words that just escalate everything, right? Because those words are probably not true. I mean, if someone says, you never give me flowers, like, well, no, on June 28th of 1995, I gave you flowers, right? You're just going to argue about it. So stay curious, stay calm. And when you're in the middle of conflict, you need to do this. You have to figure out a way to collaborate. Is there a way, I put a question mark there, because is there a way for you in conflict with this person to say, okay, hold on a second. You and I actually do want some of the same things, right? Like, I think the classic one is when we see political guys start arguing. That season's coming, right? We're going to have some primaries. We're going to have some debates. We're going to have some people having discussions. You see it every day. And they kind of do want the same things. What do they want? They want prosperity for the people. They want justice for, fairness and people to be happy and healthy and have opportunities. And they want jobs, and they want, economic success, and they want, safety and peace in the world. And they want, those are all great things. And you know what? You got two political parties, or a third perhaps jumps in there, and they have a different way that they want to get there. That's it. I mean, and one's not evil and one, the other is right or wrong. I don't care. You both want the same thing. Why don't you having a calm, curious conversation about it instead of canceling each other and getting all riled up and fighting about it all the time? Just collaborate. And that's what we need to do when we're in conflict. Let's find the common ground. Let's find the common ground to say, okay, I sense that you want this. Well, yeah. Well, actually, I want that too. And we can start building some bridges instead of burning them down or blowing them up with dynamite, right? So when you're in conflict, be curious, be calm, and be collaborative. It could really revolutionize your relationships, especially those of you who are prone. You're driven, you're competitive, you're passionate. There's some urgency that you feel about this issue. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. Wherever you find yourself, I hope this encourages you today to handle some conflict in a different way. I'll tell you what, if you're a hard driving, I've had some guys in my life that were just, really hard pressed. They were angry people. They were driven. They were dominant, and then we taught them this. We got them going, like to have a coach come at you and you do something different than what people expect from you. And they go, oh, whoa, that's totally different. That's awesome. Okay. Listen, that's enough for me. Give me some comments down in the comments. If you feel this was good and maybe you need to work on one of these, write it out there. That'd be great. If you feel like this could be helpful for, maybe the people that you're leading, feel free to share this video with them. I would love to encourage as many people as I can. And that, my friends, has been Conflict Resolution Tuesday Tea with Charlie G style. It's Tuesday Tea with Charlie G. Spend some time with me, tell me what you see. We'll have encouraging lessons, counting all of our blessings. It's Tuesday with Charlie G. Yeah, that's me. Hope you have a great day today.